Hello, guys. It's Mr. Maximo here, Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network, and I'm very privileged to have someone quite special in European cricket on the line. Is Kobus Oliver, the CEO of the Ukrainian Cricket Federation. Kobus, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much, Vinny. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you. I wish I was sitting in Kiev and not in Warsaw in Poland. It would be more appropriate. But thank you so much to join you guys from here.
Yeah, look, I know it's been a really difficult time. I don't think we can say enough about that. But I'm really interested to know about your work developing cricket in Ukraine. And you've got a bit of a history, don't you, going back to your native South Africa in developing cricket and trying to bring it to new communities. Tell us a little bit about how you started out in this kind of work.
Yeah, I've always, I started playing cricket like any South African kid. In summer, you play cricket. In winter, you play rugby. So I was playing cricket since the age of 10, under 10 cricket, went through the school system with cricket. And I just was passionate. So when I was like 14, I started playing club cricket at a senior club. Actually, I was down in the fourth team, but Jimmy Cook played there. Clive Rice played for them, Pirates Cricket Club in Johannesburg. And then I went to Stellenbosch University and I played for the university. Eddie Barlow, quite a famous cricketer, was our coach. At the time, Peter Kirsten played there, Garth LaRue. So I was always surrounded by good cricketers. And obviously, when you're around these people, you just get more enthusiastic. So I'm a qualified school teacher at Stellenbosch University. I studied to be a sport teacher. But in my life, I've probably taught 2 years in total, and I've just been playing cricket. I played professional cricket in the leagues in the UK, mostly in Scotland and in Holland for about 13 years. And then I went into administration. And after sort of my playing career, and interesting story, in Cape Town, actually, my first proper club cricket, Premier Division, I opened the batting with Bob Woolmer. And when I was at school in Johannesburg, I was 10 years old. Bob came out as a young pro. He still had the Ken sweater with the 2 under the horse. So we played second 11. He was 22 at the time. And Bob came out on his first time out to South Africa and he coached me. And I was just totally in awe with this English professor with all the kit. He had all Gray Nichols bats and I've never seen it, young Afrikaans boy. So I then, at club level, I opened the batting with Bob at Avondale later, 10 years later. And we became very good friends. And he just had such an influence on me. And Bob got me into cricket development. He was coaching in the so-called townships during apartheid era in those days. Bob didn't join one of the white clubs in Cape Town. He went to a so-called coloured club in Athlone, Avondale Cricket Club, and he started coaching them, playing for them as a player coach, developing cricket. And Vinnie Wells, that played for Leicester, played a few one days. Alan Eagleston, good mate of mine, sadly passed away recently. These guys, and Dominic Osler had a season there. So we had all the English pros came out. And I coached with them on a Friday. Bob had a program for the community, the colored kids. They were mostly parts of gangs. They were doing a lot of drugs. It was a terrible life for them. And Bob sort of got them into this cricket development program. Fridays and Saturdays, we were all coaching. We had up to 200 boys on the fields from they call it the flats, that area. All gangster. We used to hear guns going off and that gunshots. So Bob started that program and I worked with him and I became passionate about cricket development. And then to just briefly sum up, after that, after my playing career, even during my playing career, I was director of cricket at the University of Cape Town for 14 years. Graham Smith played for us. Compton, the England opening batsman, had a season with UCT as an opening bat for us. We had Ryan Tenduscata, I think, played for us. Brian Murphy, Zimbabwe spinner. So it was a fantastic time in my life. And I appointed the coaches as director at the time. So I appointed Gary Kirsten, Brian McMillan, Emerson Trotman, the Barbados coach. They all coached at UCT. And Duncan Fletcher was there for about 5 years before he became well known as a coach. He was University of Cape Town coach, Duncan Fletcher. Eric Simons worked for me. So then the cricket thing, then I went to Holland for 2 years with the KNCB, Dutch Cricket Board. I was national youth coach. Peter Seeler played in my team as the captain and development officer. And then I ended up in Kenya as CEO of Cricket Kenya for 1 year. I went to Dubai. I started my own cricket academy with Ashwin Ravishastran, the spinner. We had a cricket academy together. And then I ended up in Kiev. And I actually wanted to take a break from cricket. I thought, I've had enough cricket. I'll go to Kiev where there's no cricket. And I was going to sell wine. I've never tasted alcohol, but I thought there's a good market. So I was going to be a wine merchant. And that didn't work. So I started teaching English, Plan B, in school, in a big private school. And during my English lessons, I thought, it's so boring. I sit and talk about favorite holidays and stuff. I'm going to play cricket with these kids. So I've got some cricket equipment, the little softball, the plastic bats, mini cricket equipment from a friend of mine, Mr. Shambatia in Dubai. He's got a cricket charity, Care for Cricket. He sent me 7 sets and then he just took off. I started playing cricket in my English lessons. Then I had some sport lessons. I played cricket. And the Ukrainian kids I've never seen kids they don't know, they've never seen a cricket bat or a cricket ball. They just love this new sport, catching, throwing, running. And I showed them videos of John T. Rhodes. They thought it's cricket, Alice in Wonderland. And I said, no, they said it's for old people. No, let me show you. And I showed them the clips of John T, 10 best fielding moments of John T. Rhodes. So every Ukrainian kid now knows who John is, a legend in Ukraine. And the cricket program took off. I'm director of a school. We've got 10 schools. Uster School, I'm director in one. So in all 10 Uster schools and in 2 other schools already, I've trained the sport teachers. I teach them mini cricket. I give them equipment. And we're now playing cricket. Almost 2,000 kids in the last 3 years has gone through my program. And in the 12 schools, it's a sustainable development program. The kids play cricket every day.
That's part of your plan, isn't it? Essential to your plan is it's not just about you teaching the kids, but actually teaching the teachers. And that just seems like a more sustainable way to develop cricket organically, right?
But I believe I've got very firm views on that. And especially when I was in Holland with cricket development, I saw that up to this day in the Netherlands, there's no cricket in schools. And I believe very firm, the only way you can still, in test countries, everybody knows cricket, India, South Africa, England. But in these countries like Ukraine, where they've never seen cricket, if you have afternoon sessions to academies or clubs, nobody will go. They go to soccer, basketball, tennis that they're familiar with. So the only way to develop cricket in these countries, that's my view, people may not agree, is to go into schools, train the sport teachers. So during school hours, it's not an after school extracurriculum activity, it's a school activity. During the sport PE lesson, everyone has to do PE like you do your maths. They then play their football, basketball, but then they have specific curriculum time allocated to cricket as one of those games. Now they get to play cricket, and then you can start. After a year or two, I started after. I said, okay, who wants to come at 4 o'clock this afternoon instead of basketball or tennis? Come to cricket. Now they've been playing cricket. So
they've obviously got the bug a little bit from getting it in school.
Got the bug.
Look, obviously at the moment it's a very unstable situation in Ukraine. But what's your vision for cricket going forward in that country?
But I think I've been talking a lot about this lately in various interviews, people speaking to me, what Ukrainian cricket is now dead. Everyone's running away. But if I can sum it up, our senior cricket, we've got fantastic leagues. We've got 12 teams. We've got a pool of 400 to 500 Asian players, mostly Indian medical students. That's our senior league. There's probably 5 Ukrainians playing that pick the game up through friends that plays. But the senior cricket, I have to be honest, for the foreseeable future, there's going to be no senior cricket. These Indian students will not now return to Ukraine. So that gives me a unique opportunity to work with the juniors that's already playing. Because all our kids, on the 1st of April, we resume online lessons. These kids are now scattered. But I'm already planning in most of them, our children and Ukrainians. There's now 2 million refugees in Poland. I'm in Poland, in Warsaw. So my school owner is already looking at premises here. We want to open an Uster school in Warsaw and one in Krakow. I'll be director of the one in Warsaw. So I've appealed to the ICC and to MCC Foundation to assist us to put nets at this school in Warsaw, 2 cricket nets outside and 2 indoor nets. All our kids are going to be there, and I can do a lot of indoor sessions with coaches that can help me. We can also do online cricket sessions now with all our kids. They're all there. We've got the database. 1st of April, juniors resume. So at this school in Poland now, with all these young cricketers, Ukrainians, we just continue our ongoing program. Nothing will change, except we're not in Ukraine. We're now in Warsaw, and hopefully in a year or two we can go back to Kiev. But the one opportunity, this offers us a unique opportunity to just develop junior Ukraine. This is all Ukrainian kids in Ukrainian schools. So in 5-6 years, it's a long-term project. We can be the only, in the history of cricket, the only associate member that will actually have our national teams at all age groups, under 13, 15, 17, 19 senior teams, can consist 100% of Ukrainian nationals, Ukrainian kids playing, women and girls, men's teams, all Ukrainians. And in 7 years, that's the case because there's no Asians. So that's a unique opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll have a Ukrainian national side with 11 Ukrainians.
Well,
I'm very excited about it.
I can see that excitement, and it is infectious, isn't it? The love of cricket, which obviously you caught as a child, and the fact that so many years later you're passing that on to a new audience and a new generation, I think is really inspiring. Look, I wish you all the best for the future, Kobus. I think it's a wonderful story, and I'm glad that you got to tell some of it today. And look, we'll certainly be keeping our eye on what's happening in Ukrainian cricket going forward through this difficult time.
Vinny, if I could just my last word today, I just want to say, even through all this, ducking bombs and driving in a car, I've been following your tournament, the European Cricket Championship in Malaga. I would have been there if not for this. It's a fantastic tournament. The concept is just unreal. I'm loving every minute. And for your final, which I know is tomorrow, I'll be watching it on your stream, on YouTube streaming. I wish you guys, for the two teams playing in the final, I just wish them all the best. And it's so exciting. And have a wonderful final and a fantastic tournament to you and to Daniel Weston. I know who's the man behind all this, to Daniel as well. What an amazing tournament. And I hope in a couple of years, Ukraine can be playing in this tournament and maybe in a final in Malaga. It's a dream. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobus. And yeah, that would be really exciting. Thanks for being part of the European cricket story and for giving so much effort and attention to what you do. I think it's fantastic. And well, I wish you all the best in the future.
Vinny, lovely talking to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobus. And don't forget, you can check out more what's happening with European cricket at europeancricket.com.